So when we go to our first issue, this is the first issue of what if the claim was reported too late? What if the claim came in against the policyholder in January, but the policy expired in March, and the claim was not reported to the insurer until June or July, or even less of a period of time? What happens with that delay? What the policyholder may argue, based on its own understanding of occurrence-based policies, is that because the delay did not prejudice the insurer is not entitled to deny coverage based on the late reporting. In most states, that argument will not prevail because most states accept the principle that claims-made policies are different from occurrence policies, and therefore no prejudice is required. So even if there is only a nominal delay, most courts will uphold a denial of coverage based on late notice. Now, certainly unique circumstances will make a difference. For example, if the policy is not amended by some sort of grace period or has a grace period built into the policy, so it really is a hardship for an insured to get a claim at the tail end of the policy and then report it immediately, a court may step in and use its equitable powers and allow coverage. And we saw that in California in the Root case. But since then, most policies do have a grace period built in, and most courts do enforce the reporting requirement without proof of prejudice. The second issue that we see is to whom must the insured report the claim. And this is a pretty easy answer. You really just think about it on a practical approach. You have to report the claim to the person or to the party from whom you want the coverage. So that means if you want the coverage from your primary insurer, you have to report the claim to the primary insurer. You cannot report it to the broker. If a policyholder reports the claim to the broker during the policy period, but the broker does not report it to the insurer during the policy period, courts have found that there is no coverage. So you have to really be careful with to whom you report it, and most policies will even specify in the conditions section that it must be, that the claim must be reported to the company. And we'll use the word company in a capital C so you know that this is a defined term. There's also a separate issue where you want to be very deferential to the policy language with respect to excess insurers. If an excess insurance policy is written on a claims-made basis and the excess policy is follow form and requires reporting during the policy period to the capital C company, and it names specifically the excess insurer, the policyholder must report the claim directly to the excess insurer. A report to the primary will not satisfy this requirement. We saw this result in the Lexington case in the Third Circuit. This is also an area where claims-made coverage and occurrence coverage are different. In most occurrence policies, the excess carrier will not want notice or will not want report of the underlying claim until it seems likely that its limits will be pierced or will be approached. That's not the case in all claims-made policies, so you really have to look at the policy language.